A Big Four consulting firm just paid me 3 times my normal rate, and it had absolutely nothing to do with my expertise. In fact, they could have hired someone with identical qualifications for a fraction of the cost. But they didn't. And what I discovered about why they made this decision will completely transform how you think about pricing, positioning, and the psychology of premium clients. Now, if you stay with me for the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to reveal the 3 psychological triggers that Ernst Young used to justify paying premium rates, triggers that you can immediately apply to your own business or career to command higher fees, attract better clients, and position yourself as the go-to authority in your field. I'll show you why investment thinking always beats expense thinking, how prestige by association drives purchasing decisions more than actual results, and the counterintuitive reason why higher perceived value actually strengthens your brand appearance rather than weakening it. This isn't theory. This is real-world intelligence from inside one of the world's most prestigious consulting firms. So let's dive in. I received a call from a senior partner at Ernst Young, and they needed a consultant for a client engagement, something well within my wheelhouse. But here's where it gets interesting. During our initial conversation, it became clear that they weren't shopping for the lowest price. In fact, price barely came up until the very end of our discussion. Instead, they were focused on 3 very specific things. And these 3 things reveal everything about how premium clients think and make decisions. Trigger number 1, they wanted quality, not cost savings. The first thing that struck me was their language. They never once asked, what's your cheapest option, or how can we do this for less? Instead, every question was framed around outcomes. What's the best way to approach this? What would excellence look like here? How do we ensure the highest quality result? This is premium psychology in action. Premium clients don't think in terms of cost, they think in terms of investment. They're not asking, how little can I spend? They're asking, what's the optimal investment to achieve the outcome I want? This mindset shift is crucial because it reveals something profound about human psychology. People will pay significantly more for something positioned as an investment rather than an expense. When you frame your services as an investment in their success, in their reputation, in their competitive advantage, the conversation changes entirely. EY understood this instinctively. They weren't buying hours of my time, they were investing in the certainty of a successful outcome for their client. And that's worth far more than an hourly rate. Trigger number 2. Prestige by association drives purchasing decisions. Here's where it gets really interesting. During our conversation, the partner mentioned something that initially seemed like a small talk. We typically work with consultants who work with Fortune 500 companies. And then he asked about my client roster. This wasn't idle curiosity, this was premium psychology at work. Ernst Young weren't just buying my expertise, they were buying the prestige associated with my client list. They wanted to be able to tell their client we're bringing in someone who's worked with companies like X, Y, and Z. Prestige by association is incredibly powerful. It's the reason why celebrities get paid millions to endorse products, why luxury brands collaborate with high-end designers, why premium consulting firms only recruit from top-tier universities. People don't just buy products or services, they buy the status, credibility, and validation that comes with them. Think about this in your own context. When you're choosing a professional service, whether it's a lawyer, accountant, or consultant, don't you feel more confident choosing someone who's worked with prestigious clients? It's not just about their competence. It's about the validation that comes from being chosen by organizations or individuals you respect. EY leveraged this psychology perfectly. By associating with premium consultants, they reinforced their own premium positioning. And by paying premium rates, they ensured they could attract consultants with the kind of client roster that would impress their own clients. Trigger number 3. Higher perceived value strengthens brand appearance. This is perhaps the most counterintuitive insight from my experience with Ernst Young. You might think that paying higher fees would make them look wasteful or inefficient to their clients. But the opposite is true. When EY told their client about the consultant they were bringing in, they didn't apologize for the cost. They positioned it as evidence of their commitment to excellence. We're bringing in one of the top specialists in this field carries very different implications than we found someone who can do this cheaply. Higher perceived value actually strengthens brand appearance because it signals several things simultaneously. That you have high standards, that you're willing to invest in the best, and that you're confident enough in your own value to pay for quality. This is why luxury brands never compete on price. A Rolex isn't just a timepiece, it's a statement about the wearer's success and taste. And BMW isn't just about transportation, it's a reflection of the driver's appreciation for quality and performance. EY understood this principle instinctively. By paying premium rates for premium consultants, they reinforce their own premium positioning. Their clients don't work with the cheapest consulting firm. They want to work with the best, and the best don't cut corners on quality. So let's talk about investment thinking versus expense thinking, because this brings us to the fundamental difference between investment thinking and expense thinking, and why investment thinking wins every time. Expense thinking asks, how much will this cost me? Investment thinking asks, what will this return to me? Expense thinking focuses on minimizing outlay. Investment thinking focuses on maximizing outcome. Expense thinking is short-term and reactive. Investment thinking is long-term and strategic. EY demonstrated pure investment thinking. They weren't concerned with minimize what they paid me. They were focused on maximizing the value they could deliver to their client. And because they thought like investors rather than spenders, they were willing to pay premium rates for premium results. This is why premium clients are actually easier to work with than bargain hunters. Premium clients understand that excellence has a price, and they're willing to pay it. They're not looking for the cheapest option. They're looking for the best option. And once they find it, price becomes secondary. The ripple effect. Here's what happened after the initial engagement with EY. Because they paid premium rates and received premium results, they became repeat clients. More importantly, they became referral sources, connecting me with other Big Four firms and Fortune 500 companies. This is the multiplier effect of premium positioning. When you work with premium clients, you attract more premium clients. When you command premium rates, you build a reputation that justifies premium rates. When you deliver premium results, you create a virtuous cycle that elevates your entire practice. The investment EY made in hiring me wasn't just about that single project. It was an investment in their relationship with their client, their reputation in the market, and their ability to attract similar high-value engagements in the future. What this means for you. Whether you're a consultant, entrepreneur, or professional service provider, these insights can transform how you approach pricing and positioning. Instead of competing on price, compete on value. Instead of minimizing cost, maximize outcome. Instead of thinking like a vendor, think like an advisor. Remember, premium clients aren't looking for the cheapest option. They're looking for the best option. And if you can position yourself as the best option, price becomes a secondary consideration. The three triggers I've shared today, quality focus, prestige by association, and higher perceived value, aren't just psychological curiosities. They're practical tools you can use immediately to elevate your positioning and command the rates you deserve. This is just the beginning of the conversation about premium psychology and authority positioning. If you want to dive deeper into these concepts and discover how to implement them in your own practice, I invite you to continue this conversation at my Substack. It's at the authorityfigure.substack.com. And there you'll find premium levels of additional content that builds on what we've covered today, plus insights and strategies I don't share anywhere else. And if you're ready to take action on these concepts, I'm offering a limited number of complimentary authority assessment calls where we can discuss your specific situation and how to apply these principles to your business or career. You can book a time that suits you and your schedule at calendly.com. The link is near this video. These are focused, valuable discussions, and I keep the slots limited to ensure we can have a meaningful conversation about your authority positioning. The choice is yours. Continue to think like everyone else or start thinking like Ernst Young. I'll see you at the next level.